Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you a prom or very formal occasion makeup look. I know some of us can't really afford to go get our makeup done unless you go do it at Ulta for free, I guess. But I know I believe it was both my junior and senior prom, I did my own makeup. I know for my senior prom I ended up doing my own hair. But yeah, for some of us, we can't really afford to go out and spend, I think it's probably, where I live, it runs about $50 to $75 for like a formal makeup look. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and anything that I show you, it can easily be duplicated for a drugstore product if it's a high-end product, or you can change it for your preference, either or. So let's get started. First off, moisturize your face, cleanse it, make sure everything's cool with that. I'm going to be using a facial primer. This is something I did not splurge on. I bought the e.l.f. Version, which I believe is $6, and it works well for me. So it kind of has that Vaseline appearance almost. I'm just going to spread that. Come here, Mirror. Where you going? I'm just going to spread that all over my face. It's a little windy outside. I love using primer because my face feels so smooth afterwards. Okay. Okay. Now that our face is primed, I'm going to be going in with my Revlon Photo Ready Concealer. This is my favorite concealer. It's a drugstore brand. It's a little pricey. It's for a price, pricey for a drugstore brand, but I believe it can run anywhere from like $8 to $12 depending on which store you go to. I'm just gonna go in and cover up any red areas, any blemishes. I have a bump coming up on the inside of my nose. I hate those. I'm just gonna blend it out with a wet beauty blender, which I did not spend a fortune for. I got it at Walmart for $5 because it's ridiculous to pay. How much does Sephora have theirs for? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm just gonna blend this out, and for your preference, you can do either foundation first and then concealer, foundation, either or. If you have some trouble spots and you want to do before and after, that's fine. For my foundation, I'm going to be using Kat Von D Lock-It, and this is in light. This is a higher end. I believe this was $34. It's in the 30s range. Just for prom or any formal event, you want something that'll stay on, and depending on your style of coverage, this is a very heavy coverage. But this is what I use. I love this foundation, and I did end up splurging on it after buying drugstore foundation all the time. I know for my wedding I splurged. I ended up buying it was like $20–$30 foundation, which it was worth it because it was like a clay-based foundation, so it stuck to my face all night. But your preference. I know my favorite drugstore foundations that I don't believe they're heavier coverage, but they do last a while for me, is the Fit Me by Maybelline. This is a really good, this is the poreless version, so it's supposed to help fill in your or not fill in your pores, but kind of cover up your pores so you don't see them as well. Also, I'm trying to remember what brand it was. I think it was CoverGirl. It was like the 3-in-1 CoverGirl foundation that it primes, conceals, and works as a foundation. But your preference, I just prefer having a heavier based or heavier coverage foundation. I need a little bit more on my big forehead now that the face It is completely concealed and covered and looking pretty good. I'm going in with my CoverGirl True Blend Minerals loose powder with a big fluffy brush. If you want heavier coverage, I would use a kabuki brush. For my powder, I like to tap it into my face rather than rubbing it because I feel like if you rub it, it kind of spreads the product kind of in the air and not so much on your face. After you set it into your face, you can wipe, but for me, I like to tap it at first. Now for my eyebrows, I'm going to be using CoverGirl Professional. Oh, it's so clever. Eyebrow pencil. This is tried and true. I know I've tried to switch from brand to brand. I most recently tried NYX eyebrow pencil and I wasn't too much of a fan of it. Mainly because Ulta did not have my color twice when I went. So I ended up getting something that was just a little too dark. But drugstore eyebrow pencils are something that I've used and I know they work really well and I like the price. For me, formal eyebrows, I'm not a fan of dramatic eyebrows anyway, but I'm just trying to give this kind of like a strong part right here. And also make sure when you do that little trick like this, your eyebrow comes over far enough. See, this needs a little bit more filling in. If you fill in your brows and you notice that they're a little bit too dramatic for you, just go in with a fluffy brush with a little bit of powder left on it and just go back and forth and it should blend it out. I know that's what I had to do a lot and I ended up liking it when I did it like that. It blended out really well. If you don't want to fill in your brows, if you're happy with your brows, then be happy with them and be glad that you don't have to do this. If you don't want to fill in your brows, then I know for me I have little sparse areas that I like to fill them in a little bit and make them look a little fuller. For blush, I'm going to be using my CoverGirl True Blend True Blend Blush. This is a favorite of mine. It's a newer product. I'm just going to be going in with a rounded angle brush. And for mine, I know they say apple of the cheeks, but when I smile, I kind of start right here and go back and sweep it back. And then whatever product is left, I come back to the apples of my cheeks. To me, this blush is very natural looking. It's not very clownish, rougish. I'm a big fan of this blush. If you want to do a little bit of contouring, that's fine. If not, you can skip this step. I'm using, what is this? NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder, and it's just Sunny. I think they really only have one color in this, but I know this is a very popular dupe for Benefit Hoola. So I'm going to be going in with this, and this is kind of like a slimmer fluffy brush. This is the one I got with Bare Minerals, but I like using this brush with my contour and bronzer. So usually with my bronzer, I start at the top of the ear and go down to right here, kind of like the corner of your lip, kind of use that as a guideline. But my initial product, I kind of start right here and buff this out. And then now that it's buffed out, there's less product up here and I can blend it down. I'm going to be starting right there at the top of the ear, buff it out. Now that there's some up there and there's less product on the brush, I'm going to blend it out. Be sure to also go up onto your temples and even up here a little bit. And don't bring it down too far down to your lip, because that will make it very dramatic and very almost drag queenish. If you want that look, go ahead, but to keep it more natural, just come, I would say, to at least the outside of your eye would be the most I would do. For formal wear, you want to be sure that you have a primer for your face as well as for your eyes. This will ensure that it stays on longer. I'm going to be going in with NYX eyeshadow base. I believe I just bought this today. I think it was about $6 or $7. And they had 3 types. This one, the white one, supposed to help bring out colors more, natural colors more. They had one that was skin tone, or I guess close to a white person's skin tone. I guess natural, more of a natural tone rather than white. And then they also had one that I believe kind of gave a metallic sheen to your eyeshadow. So whichever version you would like, or if you would just want a different brand, but I feel like this is the best eyeshadow base that I could find for the price. Next, for my eyeshadows, I'm going to be using my Morphe palette as well as my Sweet Peach palette. You can always find these same colors that I'm using in different palettes, or you can always use different colors kind of in the same shape or outline, whatever I'm doing. I'm going to be going in with this kind of skin tone color. I guess whatever skin tone you are, find one that's closest to you or a natural color and just use that. I'm going to be using that first, and I'm just going to be putting that on the inside to the middle. And this will serve really well for our transition color. So when we go in with our next few colors that are a little bit darker, it's not going to be as blotchy looking. Next, I'm going to be using the Sweet Peach palette. I'm going to be going in with Charmed, I'm Sure. Ooh, it's right here. It's a very cooler brown color. And by the looks of it, I think it's a little bit darker than this color that I just put on. So I'm going to be doing that on the outside corner. And just pat it up there. And you're going to be putting it in your crease. And once you've put that in the outside corner, you're just going to take a clean fluffy brush and just kind of blend that color. And then with that fluffy brush, you're just going to blend it. Now if you were using a drugstore brand, or if you do not have the peach palette and you want to use similar colors, like I said, it would just kind of be like a light taupe or one that's closer to your skin tone, and then it looks almost, the Charmed, I'm Sure, is a very neutral, hit the lighting, neutral brown color. It's very cool. Now that all of that is blended, you're going to go in, I'm going to use this pointed, I like to call this my precision brush because it's rounded to a point at the tip, just the tip. So I'm going to be going in with Peach Pit, and this is a darker, over here. It's like a darker color, but it's almost like a, it has like a tint of purple to it. And this is going on the very outer corner. And we're going to blend this as well, but this is kind of going to be our darkest shade. And once you have added the amount that you want, you're going to take that fluffy brush again, and you're just going to blend out that color. Next, with a very basic brush, it's the same one that I used the lightest taupe color. I'm going to be going in with White Peach. Now this has a pink tint to it. If you want to stick with something that's just like a basic white, those are usually pretty easy to find in an eyeshadow palette of like 3 or 4 at the drugstore. But I'm just going to be taking this and I'm going to be going to the inside corner. And you can use that brush that you just used with it, but you can blend that out a little bit more. With an angled brush, you're going to take Charmed, I'm Sure, that darker brown color, and you're just going to put that on the bottom lash line. This is totally optional, but usually when you put a shadow on your bottom lash line, it's a lot more dramatic and a lot more smoky. Now that you've added that bottom color, you're going to go in with that precision brush and you're just going to blend it out, kind of smoke it. I believe this part's a little bit more difficult than the precision brush. Now that I am completely done with my eyes, I'm going to use the Voluminous Superstar liquid eyeliner. I like this because it has kind of like the felt tip to it, and it makes it a lot easier to do your eyeliner, at least for me. I'm actually going to bring this out. And now for mascara. For me, if I were going to prom, I wouldn't want false lashes because for me, I've always had issues with them. But if you feel comfortable with false lashes, if you know how to put them on, make them last long, then by all means wear them because they will add to the look. But if not, just curl your lashes. And for me, for the most effect, I like to get right to the root of the lash, curl, and then come up a little bit to the middle, and then curl, and then to the tip and curl. For mascara, you have 2 choices. Well, of course you have more than 2 choices, but for me, Roller Lash would be the higher end that I would choose. It helps space out your lashes. You'll have the very long, elegant lashes. But then Maybelline Falsies Push Up Drama, for me this adds a lot of volume, so this would be a very good choice as well for kind of like the drugstore end. So I'm going to go with this. Now to just finish off the face, I'm going to be going in with Becca Champagne Pop. This is by Miss Jaclyn Hill, and it's so pretty. I waited till the last, kind of the step, because when you want to smoke this out, you want to try and keep, you know, your highlight clean. Now for my lips, I'm going to go in with Buxom. This is in Dolly. It's their lip plumper. Dolly is kind of like a favorite color of theirs that I like. Lip plumper is kind of optional, but just this color I like because it's very dressy, but it's kind of toned down. It's not too bright. With the lip plumper, I also like the tip to it, because the tip helps you kind of draw on where you want it to go. So yeah, that is this look. If I were doing my own makeup and had limited resources, this is kind of what I would go to. It's very smoky, it's very, I would say sexy, but you don't need to be sexy in high school. Please don't do that. If your, you know, birthday is coming up, you want to do a very dramatic makeup look for that, this would be the look for that. I would add some sparkle to it for my birthday. I know usually prom dresses have the sparkle, so I feel like adding more to your face would just kind of, you know, it's just a little too much. So for, if I was doing prom, I would kind of keep the eye a little less sparkly, but very dramatic and smoky. So yeah, this is a prom look. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.